Still ahead, a photographer whose career is in ruins, but it's not what you think. Joining me in the studio, David Hochoy of Dance Kaleidoscope and Jason Grizel of the Health Foundation of Greater Indianapolis. Great to have you both here today, and I'm really glad you're here because we want to talk about Spotlight, which is an incredible event, raises education, raises funds for HIV/AIDS awareness. David, you've been a part of this event since the very beginning, 19 years ago.
That's correct.
How did this all come about?
Well, you know, Travis, when I first came here in 1991, I asked around and asked them, people in the performing arts community, if they did any sort of AIDS fundraiser, because I had just come from New York, and in New York, they just did a beautiful big fundraiser called Dancing for Life that was put together by Jerome Robbins, where all the dance companies in New York came together. And you know, so many of our fellow performing artists passed away in the 80s that we really wanted to fight this disease as much as possible. And when I found out that really nothing was being done about it, I started trying to get people revved up about doing something. And finally, with the help of Libby Apple, who came in as the artistic director of Indiana Repertory Theater, we started it, and I think the first year was 1994.
Well, and it's certainly grown over the years. Now it takes place at Clues every year. This year on Monday, April 22nd, involving 20-some organizations. Of course, one of the great things about it being on a Monday night is that so many arts organizations, theaters, dance companies, musicians can participate, because Monday is usually a dark night for them.
Well, we have to have it on a Monday night so that, because all of the talent is donated. Everybody from the musicians of the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra all the way down are donating their time and their talent to the event, and all the backstage people are donating their time as well. So
it's almost a cast of thousands.
It is a cast of thousands, and actually, if you really want to be entertained, you should come backstage and see what it is we have to do to get all of these acts on stage and off stage very, very quickly.
You've got some really talented volunteers there. One of the things that's really fun about that night too, of course, is that so many of these talented actors, dancers, musicians don't always get a chance to see each other perform. So, I mean, all the performers are audience members as well.
That's correct, and it's also a wonderful time for us in the performing arts community to really feel as one.
Yes.
So I run into people that I don't see for a year, and then I see them there at that event, and it's really, really fantastic. The feeling of collective love in the theater is really fantastic, and it comes from the audience, it comes from the stage, audience and performers together. It's just really, really a wonderful, wonderful.
And it's great to see how much incredible talent Indianapolis has to offer. And it's also a great way, you know, for patrons to say, you know, maybe I haven't seen this dance group before, and this is a nice way to check them out. And
as I always say, that because also we've refined it, so now every segment is only 5 minutes long. So I always say to people, if you don't like what you're seeing, wait, and in 5 minutes it will be over, and you get something completely different.
Jason, I'm so glad you're here, because I wanted to, talk about, of course, not only is this a great showcase of talent, but it is an incredible event that does raise money and awareness. AIDS is certainly a very different disease than it was 19 years ago in some ways, but of course, HIV/AIDS is still a very significant issue for Indiana.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's been a lot of advancements in the medicines and in the medications that are extending people's lives now. Where there's certain treatments that once people get on medication, they'll live a normal life. It's not a death sentence like it used to be. Yes. You know, 30 years ago, 18 months usually was your lifespan. Now folks they're going to die probably of something else in your 60s, 70s, or 80s before you would die of something necessarily complications of HIV, as long as you maintain your treatment regimen. But in the state of Indiana, we still have about 11,000 people living in the state of Indiana with HIV or AIDS, and we generally have about 500 new cases a year.
And I think one of the scariest things is that I was reading that so many people don't know that they've been infected.
Correct. About it's estimated by the CDC that 20% of those that are infected with HIV don't know it. And It's also estimated that 50% of the new cases are caused by that 20%. It's those that are infected, don't know it, and are unknowingly still spreading the disease.
So there's certainly still a need for the work that Spotlight does.
Absolutely. There's a need for testing. Last year we netted over $400,000 from this event. Coupled with monies from the Health Foundation, we were able to provide grants to 8 service organizations around the state of about $525,000. And that was supporting programs that are doing testing, treatment as prevention in high-risk communities, especially in the gay community and in communities of color.
Okay, very good. And it is statewide that this event supports
Yes.
that type of education, that type of outreach and awareness. David, will you be performing this year? What do we have to look forward to? Are you going to be taking the stage?
Not me personally, but of course the Dance Kaleidoscope dancers will be doing a fabulous Frank Sinatra number.
Good, excellent, excellent, very good. How about Jason? You take the stage all yourself?
No, I used to take tap when I was a kid, but that's been so many years ago. But maybe for the 20th, David, we could do it.
There we go. I
There
think
you
that
go.
sounds like a good
Together.
idea. And get you guys back here for that as well. But all your work is behind the scenes, and it's so very much appreciated.
Thank you.
And so very important to do. Tickets are still available, certainly. I know there's a
Absolutely,
VIP reception early. Most of the event begins about 7:30, and it's just a great night, right?
So ticket prices are $20, $45, and $120. The $120 includes the VIP reception,
Okay.
which starts at 5:30, and then the show begins at 7:30.
And of course, it all goes to a great cause, great talent, great entertainment. I want to thank you both so much for coming in to Art of the Matter today and wish
Thanks
you the
for
best
having
of
us.
luck. Of course, of course. Spotlight is coming up on Monday, April 22nd. We'll see you there.